Morning, Deirdre.
Hi.
My name is Alice. I'm a systemic psychotherapist, and I'm here with Deirdre Hayes, who is also a systemic psychotherapist. And we were just thinking about, I suppose, the Christmas coming up in the next couple of weeks, and just having conversations about the different experiences people are going to have this year, in particular because of the restrictions that COVID is placing on all of us, and the challenges that it has placed on all of us over the last year, which may, I suppose, build up into a bit of a crescendo this Christmas, as it's such a focused family time. So I suppose one of the things we were thinking about was around the people who are stuck abroad, who can't travel home, family members and close friends, and people who just are not able to come home this year. I know I have somebody who can't come home, and I know loads of other people have the same situation. So I suppose we were kind of wondering about that, Deirdre. What do you think about, I suppose, what will that mean for families or for people at home and
Yeah,
abroad?
I think it's a good point. I think we are being bombarded in the newspapers and the media about the stress of not being able to travel, and news journalists going out to the airport and finding out who's traveling and who isn't traveling and interviewing people. And so it somehow feels that you're betraying your family's love, and if you don't make a big effort to come home. But those who often say, well, actually it's not the sensible thing to do, and so I need to stay where I am. And so in that sense, I think that there should be a position of tolerating and forgiving
Yeah,
people who don't or can't come home.
yeah,
And that equally the people who are away in Australia or New Zealand or Vietnam or wherever they are, that they sort of in a way receive their family's blessing for them having made that decision.
yeah,
And so that they don't feel they've done anything wrong by not doing this, making this enormous effort to fill the gap at the table at home.
yeah,
And so I think that equally, when you are abroad and you haven't been able to come home, that you're in some way going to create a family around you of friends or people that you know, whom you've got to know during your time there. And I know one set of young people in Sydney, and they've decided that they're all going to go shopping. It's much freer, of course, over there in relation to going to the shops and getting the food in the supermarket. And each of them is going to create something, a dish from home on Christmas Day, and it's a bit barbecuey. It's not quite as the roast potatoes, I'd say, probably won't be on the
yeah,
menu, but the they're going to do something, and each of them say, well, this is what I do in my family, or this is the games that we play
yeah,
when we're home. And they have a lovely plan put together. And I mean, you really have to sort of celebrate the fact that
yeah.
they're doing something very special, but reminds them of home, but also
That's it.
is
Bringing in,
belonging to themselves.
yeah. So bringing some of the rituals from home into wherever they are in the world at the moment, and I suppose staying connected to home in that way. Um, and I suppose experiencing other people's rituals as well. It'd be nice to
Yeah,
see what other people do, and
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Because I know one guy said, "Oh, I know." I remember how much I really loved going around the Christmas tree, and one of us sitting there and handing out the presents and waiting till everybody's opened their present. He said, "That's lovely. I remember that all my life, and I loved doing that."
yeah,
And another guy said, "Well, we always play this game." And so they're going to have these ideas, they're coming together. And it's very important that some kind of ritual, whatever it
yeah,
is created for the people who are away, and
yeah,
that they don't end up feeling um, that they've lost out because of
yeah.
the lack of travel opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the flip side of that, you have, I suppose, this is going to be a different Christmas for all of us in so many ways. And in a way, do we need to, I suppose, accept that difference, accept that it's not going to be the same, and kind of embrace it nearly. So again, and another way, and a flip side of that, use it as an opportunity to maybe try new things, do something different, break from the norm of the normal Christmas traditions that maybe you would have had shared as a family, and you know go outside the lines a little bit and see what might happen in that sense.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That it shouldn't be one mold fits everybody,
Yeah.
that people feel, in fact, somewhat released from the burden
Yes. Yeah.
of some of the Christmas rituals, which are pretty heavy, in fact, for
Yeah.
some people. They carry, for some people, not necessarily good memories.
Yeah.
And so they sort of feel, okay, I'm going to do it a little bit different this year.
Yeah.
And I mean, those things free up. Change offers us that
Yeah.
possibility of just say, okay, I don't always have to do it the same way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to do stuff completely different. I'm going to go, snowboarding if I'm in a snow area, or I'm going to
Yeah.
do something that's not related to the old rituals. And I've got creating something new, especially I think when you're away from your family of origin, you've got to start creating something that belongs to you and that's separate and
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe this experience will then add to your repertoire yourself for Christmases going forward, and like something different, something new. Because I think if we try and force things to be the same as they always were this year, we could end up, our expectations won't be met because it is different. It is harder. It is going to be more challenging for so
Yes.
many people.
Yeah.
So I think we really do need to just, I suppose, accept that, look, this year it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same, but maybe it'll be okay, because if we know that and we manage our expectations around it and maybe do things a little bit differently, take the pressure off ourselves a little bit, it could be okay. And then, like I know we were chatting before this, just, on the other side of that, again, there are people who maybe find that this year, the way Christmas is going to be and the restrictions, it's actually a blessing in disguise for them, because Christmas
Yes.
for so many
Yes.
is a really, really difficult time, a
It
sad
is.
time, a
Yes.
financially stressful time,
Absolutely.
a lonely, lonely time. And just the anxieties and the stresses around Christmas that may come every year may be lessened because things are different now. So I suppose it doesn't always have to be a negative. Doing things differently this year, I think, may help put things in perspective for so many of us. And but also for those who really find Christmas such a challenging time, it may take the pressure off them to have to engage in
Yes.
that way.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And, um, it's actually giving yourself permission. I don't want to do it this way
Yeah.
anymore, and giving yourself the go ahead to, really develop something that you want to out of the Christmas, not have it
Yeah.
even named as Christmas
Yeah.
if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's that's, I think in a way it shakes up the old rhythms
Yeah.
that perhaps need to be shaken up.
Yeah.
And so don't always be locked into the belief that we've got to do it only one way. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Absolutely.
people need to just think about, how do I want to do this Christmas? How do I want to remember it?
Yeah.
And not to have, of course, it is sad, it is hard. You worry, will the Zoom work on the day because it'll be overloaded
Yeah.
all around the world? But like, yeah, I mean, that you need to give those who are abroad your blessing, to say, look, you're doing the best you can. So are we over here, and enjoy whatever moments you have with your friends,
Yeah.
the people, the networks you've created for yourselves.
Yeah.
And we're doing fine, and we're going to be just fine back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I suppose it's one day. And I mean, like, if we kind of think of it in that sense, you can celebrate when we get together again in whatever way we want.
Yeah.
And so it is just, I think it is about taking the pressure off ourselves and just, it's like, it's going to be different. And maybe it could be actually an opportunity to have a really nice and gentle and, go back to the core
Yeah.
values that Christmas is
Yeah.
about, I suppose,
Yeah.
connection and
Yeah.
relationships and that. And so,
Lovely.
yeah.
Okay, well, I hope these few tips were
Yeah.
of some use to people, and we'll see you soon.
Yes. Thanks very much. Bye.
Family therapists work with individuals, children, couples, and families. You can find a therapist by visiting familytherapyireland.com. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel to be notified of future FTAI videos.